small topic, but very scoring, easy topic. Okay, there are only few logics which you have to understand, and it is very simple chapter. You will get 8 marks from this particular chapter in your board exam. First of all, see what budget means. You must have heard this word. Like for example, you say that you to your parents that you want to buy a mobile phone, or they should give you a mobile phone. But sometimes they might say that the budget is not allowing, right? So this is and we have also done it in the consumer equilibrium, the budget constraint. So actually it is related to income and expenditures. If you have to define budget, you will define it as it is the estimate of the receipts and expenditures. Okay, simply just see this word estimate. Estimate means it is a forecast. Okay, you have just simply estimated that this would be the receipt and this would be the expenditure. So it is always made for future. Like you may say that, okay, say in the month of January, I'll earn or I'll get 20,000 as my income and I'll spend my money like this. Say maybe in activity A, B, C, D, and total money which I will spend would be 18,000 and I want to save 2,000. So it is simply the budget. That is, it is a statement showing the estimated receipts and estimated expenditures. When you say government budget, of the government for one accounting year. Okay, so these are the keywords. Budget is a statement showing the estimated receipts and expenditures of the government for 1 year. When we say budget, it can be made by anyone. Okay, the general meaning you have just understood. It is simply representing the how you will earn the expenditures or how much expenditure income you will earn in the future and what will be your expenditures. And remember, it is always made for future, because there is no use of making it for the past or for making it for the present. At present, you already know that this much money I am having and this much money I have to spend. Important characteristic of budget, you have to remember, always made for future. Then when I say individual budget, and family members can make a budget, your parents might be making a budget to run the family. Similarly, the government makes a budget to run the economy. The family budget is of less importance, but the government budget is of more importance, of national importance. You can say if there is any mistake or there is some carelessness has been done while making the budget, then there will be loss for the economy. Okay, or you can simply say it is this concept of government budget from where the government will decide what will be the sources of revenue for the government, or what will be the sources of receipt for the government, and what will be the expenditures done by the government. Now when you look at the government budget, it is divided. Oh, sorry, first we can go through the objectives of the government budget. And you must also know that the budget of India was used to be presented in the last week of February, but this year, that is 2017, it was presented on the first day of February. You might have heard it in the news. This was changed by the Prime Minister in this particular year. Before this, it was presented on the last day of February. The objectives of government budget. First objective of government budget is reallocation of resources. Okay, reallocation. First of all, let's just recall what is allocation of resource. Allocation of resource means where the resource is being used. Like for example, we have done that a land can be put to many uses, or every resource has an alternate use. So if there is a school built on a particular land, so it means that this particular resource has been utilized for or allocated to a school where we are using it. Reallocation means rearranging. Rearranging the use of resources means withdrawing resources from somewhere and putting them to some other use, because we have already done a chapter on this, that resources are limited. So when you are defining it, you simply have to explain that it means the rearrangement of the use of resources or withdrawing of resources from one particular place and allocating it to some other place. Okay, like so from the projects where there is less welfare or which are giving less benefit to the economy, from those projects the resources will be withdrawn and they will be allocated to the projects of mass welfare or the projects which can do more welfare. For example, suppose there is a building in a village area in which government is running a school. Okay, say with the capacity of 500 students. But even after working for a long time, working on to increase the strength of the strength of the school is only 200. So it means that this particular building or this particular resource of the government is not doing the welfare as it was desired by this resource. So what government can do is reduce the capacity of this school to only say 250 students and utilize the remaining space of this particular building for running a say healthcare center. Okay, so you can simply see that resources are withdrawn from the projects which are leading to less welfare and they are reallocated to the projects which can lead to mass welfare. So this is how you have to explain it if you are asked this particular objective, because individually they can be asked from you in the board exam. Okay, explain this particular objective of the government budget. Then second objective of the government budget is equality. Equality simply means reducing the gap between the rich and the poor. Okay, for this you have already seen and you already are aware of that the government uses the progressive taxation. Okay, and when you want to relate these objectives to the government budget, you have to remember that government budget simply means the planning of the government, how it is taking the money from the economy and how it is spending the money. So obviously the taxation policy also falls under the government budget. Progressive taxation means as your income increases, the rate of taxation also increases, as it is followed in India. Okay, as your income increases, the tax rate also increases. And government doesn't take any tax from the poor. You must be knowing that till 3 lakh you don't have to pay any tax in India. So it means that government doesn't charge any tax from the poor section of the society while charges more tax from the rich section of the society, so that the gap between them can be reduced. Also government uses the tool of subsidies. Subsidies are provided to the poor people. You must be aware that BPL, that is below poverty line people, are having some additional facilities are provided to this class of people by the government free of cost, like health centers for the education of their children. So another objective of government to reduce the inequality between the rich and poor. When you are explaining it, you will first write the meaning, what it means. It means to reduce the gap between the rich and the poor. And how it is done, the government uses the progressive taxation, that is higher tax on the rich and no tax on the poor, and also provides the poor with the subsidies. Okay, then the third objective is stability. Stability in the economy means keeping inflation and deflation checked. Or you can say check on the inflation and deflation. Just remember we had done the fiscal policy in Keynesian theory. Okay, that is the government's taxation, government's expenditures, deficit financing. So all these things the government uses to control inflation and deflation. So if you are asked this particular objective, then you can simply talk about the, or you can write about the fiscal policy to use inflation, to check inflation and deflation. So government tries to maintain stability so that the value of the currency can remain constant. Then the last objective of the government budget is managing public enterprises. you can say the PSUs, public sector units. All government projects, all government organizations are managed through the government budget. Means it will be decided in the government budget how much money to be given to the railway department, or maybe say to the health department of the economy. So all the government hospitals, schools, organizations, they all lie under the category of the PSUs, and the government budget is used to control or manage the PSUs. Suppose a particular health center has to be converted into a bigger hospital, so again the money will be allotted through the budget. This is the way of maintaining and expanding the public enterprises. Okay, then we come to the most important part of the chapter, that is the structure of the budget or components of the government budget. But before moving on to that topic, we have to understand the difference between two words, revenue and capital transactions. See, always remember that a particular transaction, a particular receipt or expenditure can be of two types. Either it will be revenue or it will be capital. Revenue means which do not affect the balance sheet, or you can say which do not affect the long-term assets and liabilities of the government. Those who are commerce students, they can simply understand what are assets and liabilities and what is the balance sheet. And you must have also read about the revenue expenditures, what they mean. That is in class 11. You differentiate between revenue and capital expenditures and receipts. But for the others, it is again simple to understand that these are the ones which will not affect the long-term assets of the government. Asset means whatever you own, and liabilities means whatever you owe, means whatever you have to pay. While capital means which affect the balance sheet, or they affect your long-term liabilities and long-term assets.